Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the instant match reaction. Southampton 2, Everton 1. Everton going down at St Mary's Park. Probably one of the worst performances of the season. By far, absolutely atrocious. Just before we start, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app. Get all your latest news, stats and scores all in one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. I don't know what I can say, but just absolutely atrocious. For the last 2 months, we've just, ever since the Merseyside derby, we've been playing this. I don't know how to describe it. It's just this really poor brand of football that the manager obviously feels is the way forward, but I don't know. You know, today we've finished the game with 60% of the possession, and we've had 2 shots on target and got beat comfortably. I know, you know, finished 2-1, but we've been beaten comfortably, really. And every week recently, it just seems to be the same. You turn up, the team pass it round a bit, don't really put any effort in, and then it all depends on the first goal. So last week, we're terrible in the first half. We come out in the second half, put a little bit more in, scored the first goal in the game, and managed to hang on. Today, we do exactly the same. They get the first goal, and that's basically the end of the game. And you could say the same about the Leicester game. You could say the same about the Brighton game. There's been so many games like that recently, and it's just not good enough. And I watch the players, and there's almost this belief, and it's in the players, and it must come from the manager, that they feel like they're better than they are because they don't put any hard work in. The irony today is the person who worked hardest for Everton was Idrissa Gana Gueye, a player who's been linked with leaving the club, and yet he was probably the hardest working player today. We just have this style that just doesn't work, and a formation that just doesn't work because we don't have a centre forward. And something's going to have to change because it's just shite. It's just shite, and fans are falling out of love with players and falling out of love with the manager. And that's the honest truth, the way I can see it. Because I just watch players that early in the season you were, raving about and I'm excited about, and now I'm just looking at them thinking, what do you do? I mean, this 4-3-3 just isn't working because we haven't got a centre forward. Richarlison has just gone backwards in the last couple of months, and you look at him and you clearly isn't enjoying his football. Clearly hates playing up front. You can see that. He doesn't get on the ball. This is a lad who loves picking up the ball deep and running with it and take people on and committing people. And up front, he just can't do that. He's got his back to goal all the time. He's running around like an our centre forward. He doesn't, and he isn't. So that's got to change. The formation's got to change. It's not working. We're supposed to be playing with 4-3-3, and we've gone back to what always used to happen under Koeman and Martinez. Your 2 forward players end up just playing so deep that they're just here nor there. Something's got to change. I don't know. Go to the 3 and stick with it maybe, and pull one of those midfielders out the park. The midfield is just abysmal. Gomez was absolutely shocking today. You watch that first goal, the way he just labours back. If you take it just back a little bit further, he loses a 50-50 where he should be winning. Sigurdsson, who's supposed to be our most creative player, is creating nothing. Absolutely nothing. I know he scored in the game, but he's creating nothing. All his passes are a yard short. It's not working. The makeup of the team is completely wrong. It is all wrong. And this is that's on the manager. The manager's got to come up with something completely different. Today at half time, for me, he should have made a change. He should have said, that's not good enough, and I expect something more, and I'm making a change. You know, he had no problem doing that a couple of weeks ago in the Cup. Lincoln dragging a couple of young players off. Today, he should have done that with senior players at half-time. He should have gone, this is not good enough, and I'm taking you off, and I'm taking you off, and I'm changing this direction because this is not good enough. Sometimes it's not enough to just have a go at them in the dressing room. You've got to be clear with your instructions and say, I'm not having this. I expect more. And it wasn't there today. And we've been out-fought by a team that had only won one game all season at home. And that's the word for me, out-fought. You can't win a game of football till you win the battle. It's as simple as that. So you put your dominance on it, that you put your stamp on it. That means you win 50-50. That means you win in second balls. And like I said previously, these players run around the pitch like they're entitled. They have this entitlement that they're a better team. Well, Southampton today, from the minute go, decided they were going to work harder than us and did work harder than us. They had Ings up front who offered so much more than any of our players in the forward line. Redmond playing as a split striker, again, like last week with the young kid for Bournemouth in the first half. That's how a second striker is supposed to work. That's how a split striker is supposed to work. Playing between the lines. We don't have anyone who does that. Sigurdsson plays as a number 10 and just stays in this pocket. You've got to have someone who's going to be prepared to break into the box. You know, I know they got very lucky with their second goal, but that's because Redmond is keeping our players on our toes all the time. Really, that's what Richarlison's job should be. That's where Richarlison should be playing, as a split striker, with maybe Calvert-Lewin playing up front ahead of him, or even Cenk Tosun playing up in front ahead of him. He needs to be picking the ball up deep and running at people, and he's not doing that. And if he's not doing that, what's he doing? He's doing nothing. He's not offering anything. And there's far too many players in this team at the moment who are offering nothing to the side. And we need to find a way that we can play when we don't... I've been saying this for weeks. We've got to find a way that we can play football, that we're not brilliant in the game, but it's effective. And that's what some managers trade on. That's why managers get brought in by clubs when they're struggling, like we did last season. Because you find somebody who's effective, who can get you points by just working hard and having a solid shape. But good managers need that as well. They need to be able to go back to the well and say, all right, we haven't been great. Everyone knuckle in, everyone knuckle down, and let's get on with this. And we can't do that. We swing... Well, I'd like to say we swing from one thing to the other, but we haven't. In the last 2 months, we've just swung to shite, and that's it. We've just been shite and been lucky to beat Bournemouth last week because we turned up in the second half. And on Boxing Day, you know, we played a different formation, played a poor Burnley team and rolled them over. But apart from that, for the last 2 months, we've been absolutely garbage, and something needs to change. And the manager needs to change, and the players need to change. The players need to up their energy levels, as far as I'm concerned, because fans are just, even today, you know, the away end, which is normally bouncing, it sounded quiet because they're probably watching the game going, what is there to be excited about? How can they've just gone on a real long journey down there and they're watching the team, not doing anything for them. And it's not acceptable. It really isn't. It's just, these performances are not acceptable, and we're getting them every single week. You know, now we've got 2 more tough games coming up away. You know, Millwall next week and then Huddersfield. Huddersfield's got to be a guaranteed 3 points, but if we turn up like that, they'll turn up with the new manager, get the new manager bounce, and they'll all be fighting for each other. Will we be fighting for each other? Or will we just be trying to pass it side to side to side to side like every game? It's absolutely garbage, and I'm sick of it now. And it's on the players and it's on the managers to sort the shit out and bring the team up by 50%. Because honestly, today, they just all walked around, and Southampton deserved that. It would have been an injustice if we'd grabbed the point at the end there, because they deserved to win just on their work rate alone, because we were absolutely utter shite, and we are absolutely miles away from being anywhere near challenging for that top 6. Because the first thing you've got to have is be prepared to work hard for your team, and we don't have anyone who's prepared to work hard for our team. Well, very, very few anyway, and I'm absolutely sick of it, and I know every Evertonian is sick of it. Till they start seeing players working for the fans and for each other. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you as angry as I am? I'm sure you are. If people are not angry after watching that game, then they're in the wrong sport. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.